Hey guys, Susanna here. I am back for block number 7, which is ribbon embroidery on my vintage sewing. This is one I've sort of been looking forward to because I really quite love the look of ribbon embroidery. I've got a few books to show you. I happened to pick up this one from my local thrift shop for, I think it was only last week, for $3. So you can get some really good ribbon embroidery and just good crafty stuff from your local op shop for fairly cheap. So this is like 1998, which is in the 90s when ribbon embroidery was pretty popular. So I'll just sort of give you a bit of a rundown. I've dog-eared a few pages just so that we wouldn't be here all day. So I've got just some pictures of some bits and pieces. I love that, the irises. They've used the ribbon embroidery for the leaves as well as the actual flowers. See, this is ribbon embroidery that you incorporate normal embroidery and then do ribbon embroidery with as well. We're going to be working on a piece. This is a piece that the guys were given in their kit. If you haven't got, not everyone's got a kit, you just need to get yourself something with, some sort of floral element on it, and then cut it. Well, mine's 7 by 9, so that we can incorporate that. Excuse me. So that's what we're going to be doing. To save on a bit of time, I want to have something that is already existing, and then if you do enjoy it, you can probably attempt to do a little bit more of this. But for the sake of the tutorial and learning this is another way you can do like silk ribbon embroidery or just ribbon embroidery. Now I'll just look through the different pages. I've dog-eared a few. Isn't that gorgeous? This is more of a 3D element. I thought I got this page because to see the more of the you can almost make a bouquet out of some of these, but we're probably doing a lot more flatter work because it's going to be done on a flatter piece and put in a journal. But this is another way, and you use beads and all that kind of stuff in the middle. Now where we are, here's a cottage garden embroidery, so that's a combination of ribbon embroidery as well as using threads. So bit of everything. I hope it's not too glary for you. I'm sorry if it is. This is not a bit glary in the book. Here's some another page where you can do different elements. You layer 3 ribbons together to make it a bit bigger, and then you gather it at the bottom and then you pull. So there's different ways of making loops, like twisted loops. So it was just a bit of an idea to show you the different things. Same with this, just using thread for the leaves, and then the ribbon embroidery to do the daffodils and the irises. I really like how here there's an apple blossom. They've used just two colours, the light with the cream in the middle and the pink on the outside, which gives it that real pretty apple blossom look. So if you're having to do 2 lots, you just use the one lot in the same thread in the same needle, and it makes it a little bit quicker. Now this is really pretty. This is, if you're using bigger thread, I'm mainly going to be using smaller thread. This is sort of like organza ribbon. So if you're doing that, you can create these like 3D. They're like sort of spider roses. I don't know if any of you have heard of that, where you go under over. That's a little bit different. You sort of twist it around, but similar to that. But I do love that look, but we won't be doing that. And that was a short showing how to do it. You do the spokes. See, it works well with a bigger ribbon, whereas I'm using smaller ribbons. I dog-eared this page because I thought this is more something for the upcoming volume 4 that we're doing, like the treasure hunt. And I thought, you know, here they've incorporated ribbon roses, but all bits and pieces, and like an old hanky and lace, and I thought, oh, I like that. Here, this is that is the spider rose where they go around and it's a bit smaller. So, okay. Now this is probably more what we're going to be doing, which is an existing picture and then embellishing and doing ribbon embroidery and normal embroidery over that. Basically, ribbon embroidery is the same as normal embroidery, you're just using ribbon, which gives it more of a, you know, textural 3D element. Really like that. I think that's just a piece of ribbon which they've gathered on the bottom, and then you pull it and it gathers all up, and then you sew that down. Okay, and then what have we got here? I love these type of flowers. I'm probably going to incorporate some of those type into this work that I'm doing here, but that is also another one that is what, you know, we're going to be using the existing picture and then we embellish it. And it's, I mean, this looks like a bit of a like a stem stitch that they've done here. So like I said, you just do the same sort of method of using you know, the normal stitches but with ribbon. Now we've got a stitch guide, and on the back of it there is, I've got a cupboard with all that ribbons, basic essentials. So that's the type of stuff, you know, bigger threads and bigger ribbon and small ribbon and beads and all that kind of stuff. So that's that book. It's really quite a good little book. A lot of us have got this book. That's another example of what we can do for volume 4 as well. I like all the bits and pieces she's got at the back. Combination of ribbon embroidery as well as wool and all that kind of stuff. Bit of the, yeah, I like that. See, that's a ribbon and ribbon in the middle, wool and a thread. So I'll probably be doing a bit of a combination. This is really good for the guides on what to do. So here she's got silk ribbon embroidery, so she's got a bit of a silk ribbon embroidery element to this book, but a lot of it is just normal embroidery as well. So that is a really good book. Then I've got this one, only very small, but just little flowers and all that kind of stuff. It's fairly basic. See, they've got the ribbon which they've done, and then they've embroidered thread over the top to hold it down. So you do a combination of thread work as well as the ribbon embroidery. Really pretty. I've got flowers for all occasions, holly and hollyhocks. I like that. And you just do a little thing, just a loop, and then do a French knot to hold it down. And the combination, these are really nice too, the little buds. So there's quite nice stuff in there, and then all the instructions on how to do it, and then there are more bits and pieces. I love the bees and the dragonflies. They're really quite cute. The ribbon, trying to get that. Ribbon embroidery is sort of similar to normal embroidery, but just adding more texture. So this is the piece that the guys got in the kit. If you don't have that, you just, like I said, you get yourself something with a floral element or whatever design on it, and then get yourself ribbons and all that kind of stuff to match. And even the guys in the kit, they only got this plus just a couple of little sample things of this, because you need a lot of ribbon embroidery, a lot of silk ribbon to do ribbon embroidery, and it was just easier if they got their own, because it was a bit hard to sort of source it, if you know what I mean. Anyway, I sort of started doing it just to get a bit of an idea. So what you do is I've done a bit of an example. This is my piece that I'd started when I was overseas in in England, and see, and that's sort of similar to what we're doing. So I've done embroidery as well as ribbon embroidery, and that's on a pre-existing piece. So this stitch here is really easy stitch. It's a basic stitch that you use with doing ribbon embroidery. So I start with a little bit of a knot. So I just do a small knot, pull it. If you don't want to do that, you can stitch it in on itself. Then you like you come out, so you've pulled the ribbon out. Then I'm trying to do that darker bit, so, and then you just pull it down, and that comes out like that. So go back down. Oop, be careful not to, and then pull it out, and then sort of hold it next to it, because I want to have that part. And this is pretty much the basic stitch that you do use for leaves, and then a lot of other stuff you can do fly stitch and lazy daisy. I might zoom it in so that you can actually see what I'm doing. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to be doing the darker bit, and I'm going to go over with this thread to go over that. So I'll just do this bit here, so you come out there. Oop. And I'm just using a chenille 22 needle, because it's nice, it's sharp, and it's got a big eye. So okay, so we just grab that, and we go in there like that. Oh, there we go. And go back down. So now I'm going to be having a bit of a bigger one. So you try and, what I try and do is do that a little bit. So it pulls it over. Okay, and going, you sort of go fairly close to the previous one. Okay, so not hard, and it does use a fair bit of ribbon. So once again, do that. It's a little higher, so I'm going up there. Okay, back down. See, this is why it does use a fair bit of thread. I'm going to go there, not thread, silk ribbon. Now I'm going to just continue doing that. Then I'm going to come back with, you don't want to pull too tight, because you don't want it to pull, you want to keep that, you know, sort of that loose. It's a bit further down, so we go down. There we go, back down here. Okay, it's about there. Yep. Now, one thing it does do, it will pull. Like here, it really pulled in. See how it's pulled in like that in the work, and so I sort of pulled it out, and then I gave it a good iron, and it will iron down flat, but it does pull your work. Okay, I might get maybe another couple out of that, maybe. Okay, make this one a little higher. Maybe not. Can try. No, I don't think I'm going to. So what I'm going to do is just go through here and maybe finish that off. Yep. Sorry, making it difficult. You could probably, actually I might leave it and then get the next lot and go through it, and that way I don't have to knot that off. Here we go, here's the next piece. And that way we haven't got all these extra knots. So just do a knot. Oop. Oh my goodness, you think it'd be easy, wouldn't you? So here you go. I don't want to pull it too tight. Now, what I'm going to do with this is grab that. I might grab it a little lower. And then you just start a little lower. Okay. Right, grab that again. There we go. At least it's not going to go anywhere in any hurry, which is good. Okay, that's going to be a little lower. So this, using an existing flowers, like as in a design, certainly makes it a little bit easier to do. You know, you can draw something up if you get those books. You can shows you what you need to do, but it is easier having an existing design already. Oop. Okay, I might cut that piece off now. Okay, where are we? Oh, it's come out. See how it pulls? And you've got to be really careful. This is one that I've done, and I probably didn't do that usual this. If you don't do that, it can pull. There we go. Okay, got the heater on, and it is quite cold, but yeah, when you're menopausal, hot cold, it's horrible. I wonder if I can grab that again. Probably. There we go. Definitely ain't going to be going anywhere now. Now, so have that. It's there. And then the next lots are a little bit shorter. Because they're coming in from here. Yep. There we go. Such a pretty colour. Really like it. Okay. Hopefully I'm not covering the piece and you can't see. It really can twist. Haven't got very many pieces here now. So what I'm going to do on these parts, I'm going to just do a heap of French knots, and I'll probably do some with the ribbon and some with just normal thread. If you do it in wool, it'll become a little thicker. Okay, probably don't need much of a big one here. Twist that one around. And I think we're done with that. There we go. So I could probably do another one. Okay. I think it's got a bit of an angle. There we go. Goes around. Okay. So what you do now, because it had some of these lines in there, what I'm going to do is either get some of this, or I was thinking maybe this. Maybe we need to do it lighter and you're more likely to see it. Okay. Okay. Another needle. The chenille needles are great. So we're going to come in with some thread. And you can use the Wonderfill, but I think wool is a bit thicker and it will really add a little bit to it. And so here's a little bits on the top. Really didn't need anything, but I'm going to come in from about here and just grab hold of it there. So this is another way you can embellish it, and then it's going to be holding it down a little bit more. Okay. Did a lighter thread so I could see it, but can't seem to see it that much. I'm not going to do it on every one. I could probably go there, and that way it'll catch both of those. Same here. And go here. Just adds another element to it. Yep. It would have been better if it was darker, but you guys probably can't even see that. I'll bring it up to the camera in a minute. So fairly basic, just basic stitches. And maybe one more, because we won't get to see a bit of that on the top. Okay. Can you see that? So, I can see where I am. It's a little bit harder to see where you are. Now, I might, I could probably scooch across here, and that way I'm not pulling this out. And what I'm going to do is, I could probably do one more here, and I think I might even hold that one down because it looks like it's going for a bit of a walk there. Okay, so finish this off Being wool, it's a little bit easier. Okay. Okay, now what I'll do, yeah, see, it's definitely pulled it up. Now I've already got this pre-done. I've got a knot in there, and what I'm going to do is, it's a bit bigger, so I'm going to start here. And I'm going to put it almost over the other one because I really want it to connect to it, and not pull it tight because we want it to sort of look a little bit leafy. Okay, this is where you really do need to make sure that, you know, it pulls out like that. So I'm going to and by having the same ribbon colour underneath, that way if anything you still see the underneath of it, it's okay because we're using the same colour. See how I haven't pulled it as tight, and so it's given me a bit more of a, you know, I'll lift it up, look, there we go, and it's a bigger, so I'm going to come in probably at the base there to cover that a little bit. There we go. Yep. Okay. Now there's a leaf here. Which will come in there. Okay, and then we go back down here. Yep. It will pull in, so you've got to be careful. Okay. I might even grab some of that one. Grab that here. The bigger the ribbon, the quicker the work. So this is really starting to go quite fast because it's a little bit wider. Yep. Now, grab it. Look, you probably can't see this. Have to be careful. Okay. I might do two. I'm going to go over the top there, go down. Love that sound. And we're going to start here, lower down. And I might even do just it there. I'll probably pull this one a little bit tight because we want it to be sort of like a skinnier, longer one. Okay, you can see why you use quite a bit of ribbon and why I couldn't add it to the kits. Okay, really does look rather pretty. Now we're going here. No, a bit higher, I think. Now, what I might do, while I can actually see some of it, I might grab that, see how I can see these, because when I cover it completely I won't be able to see that. So I'm going to come in with the wool. Where are we going? A little bit lower. And coming in and maybe hold some of those down. So I come in with the wool. Now this is a good colour for both lots, the lighter and the darker. Okay, then we're going to come in with some of them. And just hold them down a little bit. There we go. You don't need to do that in all of them, but I think it adds a nice element of another colour and some texture. And you know it's going to be not going anywhere. Very simple stitches, just straight. There we go. And on this one as well. It's a lot more noticeable on the light colour. Okay, so there we go. Isn't that pretty? So with your flowers, just do that along and pick colours that are going to work, and then come in with your thread to hold it down. But I'm also going to come in probably with some thread to do some embroidery, and I'm going to come back in either here with some beads or just do use the silk ribbon. We'll see how we go. So okay, so well, that's enough for this video. We're at 33 minutes, so if you want to get started on that, and then next week I'll either do some of the leaves. So if you want to do anything, grab the same color as the leaves and do because I need to hold that down, I'm going to do a stem stitch with just some green wool. I think that would be good. So just do all the leaf, and maybe even along here as well, bit of a stem stitch. And then I'll show you how to do some of the leaves and other bits and pieces. Okay guys, I'll catch you in next week's video. So I hope this has been informative and easy to follow, and yeah, I think it's a really lovely technique. So how pretty that is, because it gives it that real 3D look. Okay, thanks for watching. Catch you next week. Bye.